So which one of these 7 TSS loads do you think will perform the best? Well, today's the day to find out. Carlson's gave me the choke tube used in this video, Mossberg gave me the shotgun, Holosun gave me the red dot, BOSS shot shells gave me ammunition. I bought the Apex, but they have given me ammo in the past. I bought the Herters, but they are owned by Cabela's, and I used to be a Cabela's affiliate when this video was first recorded. George here with the New Hunter's Guide YouTube channel and podcast. I'm a regular hunter who just so happens to have a PhD and a low tolerance for marketing hype, trying to help people figure out what really works. And today we have a long time coming, viewer requested and supported video where we're gonna try to figure out which one of these 7 brands of TSS ammo performs the best. Now these are all 3-inch loads with the exception of one, and they're all number 9 shot. Let's go ahead and meet our ammo right now. First up, we've got the Federal TSS. Now I bought this box of ammo with my own money, though a viewer did send me a box that we used for another test. Thank you for that. After that, we've got our HEVI Shot TSS. This was sent in by a viewer just for this test. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. After that, we have our Apex TSS ammo. I bought this one with my own money. After that right here, we've got our Remington TSS ammo. Now, I bought this box with my own money, although a viewer did send in a box to do this test, but they accidentally sent in number 7s instead of number 9s, but we will use that for another test. Thank you for that, though. After that, we've got our Fiocchi Golden Turkey TSS, also provided by a viewer. Thank you so much. And then after that, we've got our Herter's TSS, which is a 2 3/4 inch shell. I bought this one with my own money. And then we've got the BOSS Tom TSS, heaviest load on the board, 2.5 ounces of TSS. Now, I reached out to every single one of these companies over the course of the last year, asking them if they would please send me a box of ammo to do this exact test. Some of them never replied. Some of them replied and said no. BOSS was the only one that said, sure, we'll send you a box of ammo. Test it against whatever you want. So thank you, BOSS. I appreciate it. Now, you probably want to see the specs on that ammo. That's over here. You can take a look. The things that to note here, the Herter's has the lightest payload, but also the lowest cost. HEVI Shot has the highest cost, and then BOSS has the highest payload. Now you may be wondering, George, what ammo do you carry into the woods for turkey hunting? Well, it is not what you think, and the reasons for that are not what you think, but stick around to the end and I will tell you there. Now to do this test, we're gonna shoot all of these at 50 yards using my Mossberg 940 Pro Turkey with its 24-inch barrel and a Holosun 507K red dot. Now, this is not sighted in for any of these loads, so we may be, off a little bit on our paper, but that's why we're going to be using enormous paper. We will capture the whole pattern no matter what happens. We'll draw a circle over the densest part of the pattern, count those pellets, and give you guys the data. Why 50 yards? Because if you're paying this kind of money for TSS ammo, you need to be getting extra range out of it. That's the only reason why you would be paying this kind of money, so I use 50 yards as the baseline. Now, what choke tube do you use to test this ammo? This is definitely going to be the most controversial part of the video, and that is just fine. For this test, we're going to use this choke tube right here. This is your Carlson's .670 turkey choke. Just turkey. No fancy marketing, no other words, no names of different ammo, no frills, no bells, no whistles, no ports, nothing. This is your regular, average turkey hunting choke tube. Why that particular choke? Well, the reason is this. My goal is to find out what the average hunter with the average setup and the average choke tube may expect to be able to get out of these ammos. This is for the regular hunter. Now, if you have 35 turkey choke tubes and you have spent thousands of dollars on turkey chokes and ammo to test them until you have found the absolute best possible combination, I absolutely respect that. More power to you. But this video is for the average hunter with the average choke tube. Now let's head down to the range and see what we can learn. We've got the Mossberg loaded up here with the Carlsons. We're going to go ahead and lead off with the Federal Premium. Now I'm gonna take 2 shots here before reloading just to make this simpler. So we've got the heavy shot going in to the number 2 position. All right, let's do this. All right, next up, we've got our Apex ammo, and we will follow that up with the Fiocchi. All right, we'll go swap out this paper, put up a few more targets. Next, we've got the Remington. And up next after that, we've got the Herters. And then the biggest, heaviest payload on the board, the BOSS. All right, let's go take these targets down and see how we did. We've got all these targets laid out here on the ground. We're gonna breeze through them pretty quickly, but of course, you guys can pause the video, rewind, do whatever you need to do, and then I'm gonna count them up for you in the end. Let's take a look. First off, we've got our Federal. Good pattern. I was a little bit to the right. Our HEVI Shot. Good pattern. Again, I was a little right. Apex. Crazy good pattern. Pretty much dead center. Fiocchi. Good pattern on that one. Maybe a little high and left. The Remington. Centered. Decent pattern. The Herters. Honestly, not bad at all for so little payload. And then the BOSS. Totally devastating pattern on that one. All right, I'm gonna count up all these pellets, get you guys the actual data in a chart momentarily, no matter how long it takes me to count all these. Oh, wow. Is that a lot of pellets? I had no idea how many pellets I was gonna have to count to do this test. I guess I hope the patterns would have been worse. This is a ridiculous number of pellets with this number 9 shot. Let's look at some of the pellet data. First up, the Federal Premium, 91 pellets. The HEVI Shot, 132. The Apex, 234. The Fiocchi, 174. The Remington, 73. The Herters, 117. And then the BOSS Tom, a big 216 pellets. Now, really interesting spread of performance here. Some of the highlights that are worth noting, guys. The BOSS Tom and the Apex crushed it, all right? They were head and shoulders above everyone else on the field. Also interesting and of note, the HEVI Shot had the highest price tag, but nowhere near the highest performance. And the Herters actually punching well above its weight class. Look at this chart right here to help you see it a little more clearly. This lets you see how it all falls together relative to each other. Now, how many pellets do you really need in a 10-inch circle to kill a turkey? Well, my rule is 100 pellets. Doesn't matter what you're shooting or what distance you're at. At that distance, you want to have 100 pellets to do the job. So we see right here, most of these are going to do the job at 50 yards very well. Now the Herters, cheapest one on the board, lowest payload on the board, still did better than the more expensive Federal and the more expensive Remington. So what is the big takeaway from this? Well, always pattern your gun, guys, and your choke too. Your results could vary. Now you want to know, George, what ammo do you take into the turkey woods, and do these results influence your decision? Well, guys, the ammo that I hunt with is very simple. I go into the woods every year with leftovers. That's right. Whatever I have left over after doing all these test videos, I'll cobble that stuff together, and that's what I carry into the turkey woods, because any one of these is going to do the job at regular range. You're going to bust turkeys, no problem. Some better than others, but at normal range, 30 yards, 40 yards, every one of these is perfect. Now, how will these ammos do at further range, though? Extended range, ridiculous range. Well, that video is coming, and I will put it right here. And right here, you can check out the biggest lie in turkey hunting. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Till next time, God bless you, and go get 'em in the woods.